In this video, you will see how to cite an article using APA citation style and also how to paraphrase an article and put in an internal citation. Anytime you have information that you get from another source that is not directly from your own brain, you need to include an internal citation. If you're not entirely sure if an article needs to be cited or not, you probably need to cite it. But we do have a flow chart that can help you recognize whether or not information should have a citation. If you go to the library's webpage and see the Bibliography Assistance page, we have a guide for APA. This will show you both how to do a reference, but also take you through whether or not something needs to be cited and whether or not you're committing plagiarism. This guide will show you how to cite books, how to do internal citations, including an indirect source, and how to cite a book, a periodical, and a web page. It'll also show how to do formatting an APA paper in case that is required. I'll take you through the basic steps of it with a sample article. So when I was doing my research, I found this article that I really liked on education accountability and teacher stress. There was a section in the results section. I really like this paragraph and some of the information in here. My best recommendation of how to turn this into something good for your paper is, first of all, don't just try and paraphrase one sentence. Try and turn this into one or two sentences. My second piece of advice is, take this and explain it to someone who's not in your class. Explain it to your husband, explain it to your mom, find someone who is not currently in your class and explain it to them. Tell them, hey, I just read this really neat thing, this said, and then say the big takeaway that you got from this. So I took these 3 paragraphs, and from that I took away that a teacher's ability is not what stresses a teacher out, that they're likely to feel limited because of outside factors such as parental involvement and students' learning disabilities. I got that because here it said 80% of teachers made references to home and family factors, and 40% felt pressured by student deficits and learning disabilities. I'm taking the ideas out of this and I'm putting it in my own word, and I'm really getting the point across. I'm distilling the information into its bare essence. At the end of this, I include a citation for the reference. It is in my own words, but this is not my research. I have to cite this. And if it was my research, I would need to cite my research. So I include the author's last names. There are 2 authors, so I'll put author 1, and that's the first author listed in the article, Berryhill. Oh, there are 3 authors and I only put 2 in here, so I would need to put Berryhill, Linney, and then put an ampersand, which is shift 7, Romewick, 2009. And if you forget how to do that, we do have this in the guide that says how to do a citation. And you'll see here 3 to 5 authors. Looks like this. And there's a comma and an ampersand separating the last 2 authors, just like I have here, a comma and an ampersand. And then comma, the year. I have the option of putting the page number if I want to direct my reader to this page. I'm not doing a direct quote, so it's not required, but I may want to tell my reader, if you're interested in more detail, go to page 6. So if I wanted to do that, I would do comma, p period, 6. To write my bibliography, I have a couple of options. I can do it from scratch, I can do it from this, but if you think of it ahead of time as you're doing your research, In Academic Search Complete and ERIC and all of the other databases we recommend for education that are in these EBSCO databases, when you click on the title of an article, so when I click on the title of this article, it'll take me to the main record page. That's what this is called. And here's a cite button. I can click on that, and look, there's the APA reference. I can take this, hit Control-C for copy, and go to my document. References always start on a new page, so I'm going to do Insert Page Break, and I'm going to paste this in. Now I have the option over here to just select text so I don't get that background. I'm going to show you the things you'll want to correct in here. In APA style, a title of an article needs to be in what's known as sentence case. You would capitalize this the way that you would any standard sentence. I can either go in and change everything letter by letter, or I can go up here and change case to sentence case. After the semicolon, I want to make sure that this starts as a brand new sentence, so that needs to be capitalized. If I had any proper nouns in here, the proper nouns would be capitalized as well. This is just like a sentence. The title of the journal and the volume all need to be italicized. And then this is not a noun, this is not a word that is capitalized. Of, and, in, the are not capitalized, so I need to lowercase those. Other than that, this is a correct citation. If I can find it, I would want to include what's known as the DOI, but it doesn't look like this article has a DOI. A DOI is a digital object identifier. That makes it easier for your reader to find an article. There are ways to either Google that or to use it in a periodical citation searcher, which we have in the library. But this one is not giving a DOI, so I don't include it, and that's fine. That is a correct citation. When I'm done getting all of my citations, I need to create my references page. I'm going to highlight all my citations, go up to paragraph, and I'm going to do an indentation special hanging. And that will do my hanging indent for me. I have all of the parts of a citation that I need in APA. Each of the authors' last names and first and middle initials if they're given, the year of publication of the article, the title of the article, the title of the journal, the volume, the issue, and the page number. If I had a DOI, I would put the letters DOI. This actually needs to stay lowercase. And I would just paste in the DOI here. If I use a web page as a reference, the citation is a little bit different. With this web page, they don't have a button for me to cite it, so I do have to create the citation on my own. So let's do that real quick. And if you ever forget the order that things go in, don't forget our quick guide. And this tells me I need the author's first and middle initial, the year, month, and day of publication, the title of the article, the title of the website, retrieved from, and then the URL. So let's get that information from this article. I've got the author's name is Rebecca Klein. So Klein, comma, R, period. She didn't give me her middle name. It was posted October 8th, 2013. October 8th, 2013. The title. That's the title of the article. Next up comes the title of the web page, which is the Huffington Post. retrieved from. I'm going to copy and paste the web page. I don't want the URL in there though, so I'm going to right-click and remove hyperlink. So I've got my two citations. They go in alphabetical order based on the first author's last name, so they're already in correct alphabetical order. As you finish your paper, make sure whatever articles are cited in here are somewhere in your paper. And also, if it is in your paper, make sure the article shows up in your references page. It is a really good idea, your last step, to do a side-by-side comparison. Just check off articles in your citation, in your paper, and then check them off in your references page. If there's anything without a check mark in it, you need to fix something.